Welcome to episode 46 of the Babes Talking Business podcast. Today we have the lovely Sophie, CEO and founder of Real Entrepreneur Women, an uncensored, real deal global networking community that launches entrepreneur women into their dreams while they smash their business goals. After quitting her job in 2019, she launched her very first high-level mastermind called the Wealthy Woman Mastermind that takes women from the hustle and grind to clients lining up to pay you the big bucks on repeat. Sophie has also partnered with some of Australia's top companies for over 15 years while juggling the busy mum gig with two beautiful kiddies. Her vision and energy flows through the heart of the company as she backs women to rise and become wealthy on all levels in business and life. In this episode, we talk about juggling business and mum life, what it means to back yourself as a woman in business, what to do if you feel your partner isn't supporting you in business or not taking you seriously enough, plus so much more. We love Sophie's mantra, that is, get real business support from those who have the results and are in the game themselves. You'll instinctively become more like them and learn way more than you ever could alone. We love it. You can find all of her details, such as her website and her Instagram and everything we talk about in this episode, in the show notes below. If you'd love to watch this interview live, head over to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel and sit down with us in our lounge room while we have a good old heart-to-heart. You can also check out our website at www.babestalkingbusiness.com or our Instagram at Babes Talking Business, where we have loads of information, including our free side hustle guide that you can download today. It's a 40-page guide where we help you to not only think of your bright idea and your very own business, but we share really interesting statistics and information with you that you definitely want to be aware of if you're in business or you are looking to be in business. Plus, we give you 53 ideas on what you can start doing today to start making an income right away with a business on the side. One last thing, we just want to say we do a shout out of the week every week on Instagram. If you love this episode, please share it with someone who you think will be inspired by it. And please also head over to our iTunes account and give us a 5-star review. If you do leave a 5-star review, make sure you leave your Instagram handle so that we can tag you and share you with our family online for the review of the week. So without further ado, we are so excited for you to hear from this super boss mom, Sophie. And we're live.
Yeah. So this Friday, we're having our happy hour with Sophie. Sophie's on the line today. So happy Friday, Soph.
Happy Friday. How exciting. Thanks for having me, ladies.
We're excited to chat with you. I am so excited to hear a little bit about your journey in business and what you've created. And apparently you have an incredible business with marketing and helping women just networking and helping people just up level their business, in particular women.
I know when we and Soph were chatting, we connected over the passion of empowering women with business and backing themselves. And so when we got chatting, I was like, oh my God, Soph, I need to get you on the podcast so you can share your love and light with our tribe.
I know, I think we sent like a million voice messages back to each other. It's like, first dating with someone you don't know and you're sending them a voice message. It was really cool. It was nice.
And I love social media. I've got so many business besties. It's just, that's one thing I think I've discovered about women since entering the business world is just how willing women are to actually support each other. It's actually been really beautiful when you reach out and there's other women like, hey, I've been there, or hey, this is how I've got through that. So excited to open up the space today to really just have some really raw conversations around business for women who might be embarking in business or women who've been in business for a little bit, maybe overcoming some roadblocks. But tell us a little bit about, how did you find yourself in the business world?
I grew up on a hobby farm, had a small pet pig called Gertrude. She didn't stay small for long. Moved to the Gold Coast, which we were just sharing about how we both, been on the Gold Coast. And then my work brought me to Sydney. And I kind of was climbing the corporate ladder and loving life. We had our first baby, Toby, who's now 8, which is insane, and I'm homeschooling, so hence the gin. And and yeah, I thought life was pretty awesome. I went back full time. We had a nanny for Toby because we lived in North Sydney. It was really hard to get childcare. And I thought I'd had it made, like, to be honest, like the country girl, living in the city. I think my husband's pretty sexy. We had a beautiful little boy, and we had a nanny. Like, it was pretty sweet. And then I came home from work one day and I realized that Toby had picked up more of his Polish nanny's mannerisms than he had of mine or Daniel's.
Wow.
Yeah. So, of course, I poured a very large glass of wine. But it really hit me. I grew up, my mum was a stay-at-home mum. And I think I really undervalued the importance of having your parents around more. And so, but I actually didn't know what else to do because everyone around me, both parents work, it's kind of what you did. That was the culture of the world that I was in anyway. So after I had Stella, she's nearly 6, and I now understand what they mean about girls. She's full on. She's so strong and so confident, but oh my goodness, again, another reason for Jen. And I decided that when I was on maternity leave that I was going to use that time, instead of having naps like I did with Toby, that I would figure out a way. And so I did. So I started my first business, initially in network marketing, and that allowed me to really understand all about growing a business and networking and all of the sales side. Because when you work in a job or in a corporate career, you just have to do your bit. Like, you do you and everyone else does them, and you come together. But when you run your own business, you have to do the lot. And I went networking to meet people, and I just realized that there were all these really talented women who all had their own businesses, but they were alone. They were isolated. They were running their business by themselves. And so back then, this was 2016, I decided to create my own networking company. We're kind of like a BNI, but for women. So BNI is, you have one profession specialty per group. And so we adopted a similar model, but made it really fun, really focused on energy and connection, and the referrals kind of flowed on from that. So that was the born of Real Entrepreneur Mums, which is now Real Entrepreneur Women. And then even though we expanded really quickly across Australia, we had groups in Queensland, Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. But what I found is even though they were connected and they still had some referrals and they were feeling the love and weren't isolated anymore, if they didn't have the business strategy down, if they didn't know how to sell, if they didn't have their offers on point, their messaging on point, it didn't matter. So that's why last year I launched my own mastermind program. So I've been able to walk away from my corporate career to be fully immersed in teaching women how to start and grow profitable businesses without hustle, without grind, and just love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, that was a really long answer to your question. We're going to be over really soon.
You're giving me so much juicy stuff that I want to delve into. So first thing first, this might sound really random. This is actually this is how Strange Universe works. I was talking to a guy that I'm actually in a mastermind with, and he was talking about, is it BNI? Yes, BNI groups. And it was weird because I've never heard of it. And then you and I connected the very next day. You were telling me about how it's kind of like a BNI group. I'm like, okay, first off, for us millennials who build our businesses online, I've been very privileged and I need to work on networking in person because I don't do it. What is a BNI group and how does that even work?
So how our networking group, so, our network, they're similar but very different. So the reason why these groups are important are for local based businesses predominantly. So where they want to grow their business in the local area and be known as the expert, the go-to. And the whole purpose is that you have one profession type per group. So for instance, we'd have one life coach, one photographer, one plumber, right? And then that way the barriers are all dropped. There's no competitive culture. People generally want to help each other. And then the goal is that we build strong relationships based on trust, and then we refer each other's clients. So it's a way of facilitating word of mouth in a really structured kind of way. So we kind of looked at that model and loved it. And people some people describe it as a cult and others don't love it as much, like with anything. And then we looked at a model and went, well, what do I want? I want genuine connection. I don't want to feel forced to refer someone that I don't know, like, I trust yet. That's just doesn't fit with me. And so why would I force anyone else to do it? So yes, if you wanted to grow a local based business, so you weren't online, for instance, like a chiropractor, it's a perfect model for you.
What does BNI even stand for? Does it stand for something, or someone randomly has called it BNI?
No, it has
Business Networking Institute, I think. So there's like 8,000 of them across the globe. They're massive.
I've never heard of this. How did you not know about it?
don't know.
But can you tell me, Sophie, how have you guys adapted that model and made it a little bit different? Because obviously yours is for women, right? Which I
Yes.
love. Do you have one on the Gold Coast? I'd love to. I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, we can always open one.
Let's do it.
Yes, I need 2 leaders to get started. So we've got 2. All right, we're done.
Here, girls, watch this space. There'll be an announcement coming soon.
Amazing. It all stems from having the right leaders. We've got the model. We need the leaders to be able to open and run. So we looked at the model and looked at what we loved and what we didn't. The same as anything. When you're starting any business, you've got to look at what the problem is, what the solution is, what other people are doing in that space, and how can you create your own model that couldn't really be replicated. So for us, we really, as I said, from experiencing and from listening to other people, it is a high pressure to refer. You get points for referral, and you also get taken away points. You have to, it's like you have to be there at 7 a.m. for breakfast, and you can't, it's every Friday morning. So as a woman, as a mum, that's pretty impossible, right? If you've got kids, hello, what are you going to do with them? So that alone was one. So we created ours all in school hours. So our meetings start at 10 in the morning, go to 11:30, and we do have one group that has their meetings in the evenings for those who are, working through the day or too busy. So we adopted that. We have, we're all about energy. So, we kick off the meeting, like you walk into some of the face-to-face groups and it's like walking into a really noisy bird cage, because everyone is just like, and the energy is up here. And they actually have to time keep the whole meeting, because otherwise they just like going. So energy is really important. The way we do what we do fosters relationships. And just like the 2 of you, I mean, even we've just met, when you know, like, and trust someone, you'll do anything for them, support them, have their back, refer them to a client, share an event, help them out if they're stuck on something. I believe you don't have to force that with points, or have conversations with people. How come you haven't referred to anyone this week? I think there's other ways that you can do that. And so that fits our model and our network, and the other one fits the others. So that's great.
I really love that.
And so do people pay to have a membership in your group? So how does the actual business model of your actual business work?
Yeah, so for that one, absolutely. So there's a 12-month commitment. So we're looking for people who are committed. They want to be part of something. There are networking events that you can go to that other people run. But again, that wasn't the model that we were looking for, and that wasn't the model that our members were telling us they wanted, because they wanted, if you go to those, it takes a long time to build relationships, because you don't know if that person's going to be there the next time. And everyone's just throwing their business cards out like desperate, which I haven't had a business card for years. You don't need one. I mean, none of you do.
Yeah, here's my Instagram handle. You have Facebook, let me add you.
I did have one girl actually say to me, she goes, oh, look, here's my Instagram handle. And she just gave it to me. And I looked at it and I was like, what? I know.
I'll give you my book. Here's my book. They'll work as business cards, won't they?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, have a book.
So you were saying how...
Oh, the membership. Yeah. So it's 12 months, because this is about it's about women being part of something. It's a commitment. It's an investment. And when you invest in yourself, that decision alone does incredible things, because you start to show up differently. The other thing, this is real life. The reason I called my business Real Entrepreneur Women is no one has all their shit together. Not even me. No. Instagram filters are amazing, but that's not real life. That's not reality. So I think the reason why women are drawn to me, whether it's through the networking community or through my private mastermind, is because I'm real. I've been through the shit. I've made the mistakes. I'm extremely resilient. I get back up, and now I have found a way to make it easier for people so they don't have to have that pain. And I'm a no fluff coach. Like, I just say what it is. I'm a little bit intuitive, so I can kind of see what's going on, feel into it, and pull people out of it. So yeah, it's about being committed, whether it's networking or investing in a coach, making a commitment to be all in and back yourself. Like, if you set yourself a goal, don't then sit there by yourself trying to figure it out, 2 a.m. trying to build your own website. And like, that's just such a waste of money and such a waste of time. Yeah. So yeah, invest, go all in.
I love you just touched on the fact, like, you don't have our shit together. I know Shannon and I mentor a lot of girls in business, and they have this hang up on like feeling like they've got to show up and be perfect online. They're too scared to put themselves out there because they're like, I don't have my shit together. I'm like, but you don't realize that people connect with authenticity, not perfection. So if you put yourself and have this awesome, pretty Instagram filter with other mums are like, why aren't her kids going crazy? Like, you're going to get more engagement if you show what's actually happening at the moment with you homeschooling your 3 kids, and you just being like, oh, this is my perfectly clean house and my happy kids. Like,
I know.
Then when your Wi-Fi doesn't work, and then your phone battery's running out. Have you seen that video of the guy who's like, he's like on the news from home, and someone walks in and he's like, back off, on live telly.
That's the nanny. The nanny, I think, was supposed to be looking after the kids, and she was on the toilet, and the kids did a runner into dad's office, and so she's pulling her pants up as you see she's coming in. That's the funniest thing ever.
That's real life.
So with these networking, like your events that you host and run, do they have a structure? Like, I know you said like it's all about energy. Like, do people just go in and then networking, talking, or do like they all pitch themselves in a circle? Or how does the actual structure of those events go if someone's wanting to be part of it? Like, what do they expect?
Yeah, so anyone can come as a guest. So to the face-to-face groups, currently we're running them all virtually, but we already ran virtual groups, so it was very easy for us to just pivot those face-to-face groups to online. So we have a structure. So we have, and it's very strategic in why we do things, how we do them, but they may not know, right? Again, we're all about relationships. So relationship marketing as opposed to referral marketing, I suppose, is the difference. So we might kick the meeting off with something high energy, just to like, used to call it like the real switch. Like, you've had a shooting morning. There was this one day I was like perfectly dressed, I had white pants on, and I was just about to leave the house, and then I slipped on one of Stella's toys on the steps, and I had my chocolate protein shake in my hand, and it just went, and you know how like it goes slow motion, and you can kind of like see it like coming down on top of you, and then it's just like splat, and you just like. So the thing is that for many women or people to get to that meeting, if you've had to drop the kids off or whatever, you get there, you need to then all of a sudden be able to switch. So we might often do like a real switch, which is an exercise or something, and everyone participates in it just to get them present, get them focused. And everyone participates. So this is not like where you go to a networking event and they're all sitting in rows and then there's a presenter that's trying to sell you their expensive thing. It's not about that. So everyone has a seat, or we might stand up, and then we go through like a real pitch, a real switch. Everyone gets to pitch their business every meeting, but rather than we teach people how to do that. So we really want our members to succeed, and we want them all to rise. So we teach them how to get the most out of each section. We have a real action topic that we train on every month. So I just recorded May's. So I have an inner circle Facebook group for all members across all groups. And so there's a topic every month, either run by myself or one of the leaders. And so this month it's called Have Your Back. So what we've had every member's doing this week is they're putting in their information into what are the 3 key things that they want support on this month from their members. So it could be referrals, it could be a testimonial, it could be sharing an event, it could be they want to connect with a certain business, they need help with something, whatever it is. Everyone gets to pick 3 things, and then everyone will get that template, that spreadsheet of all of their members in their group. Some have 10, some have 20. And then the goal is that they will go and do 3 things per person for the month.
Wow.
It's all about having your back this month. Yeah, really kind of imagine the power of having 10 people actively doing 3 promotional things for you, what that would do in your business.
Oh
amazing is that?
And especially they're not just anyone too. They're obviously business people who understand the value of relationships and understand the value of connection. So I think that's what's even more important as an entrepreneur, is to surround yourself with people who get it, because sometimes entrepreneurship can be lonely because you're like, people just don't get not just the energy and the sweat and the tears you put into it, but just your heart. Like, it's your business ends up being your baby.
Totally is your baby. It totally is. And so depending on what that topic is for the month, we then do mini masterclass sessions on that topic. So last month it was all about who are you, who do you think you are? And so it's really getting clear on who are you, not as a mum, not as a business owner, but who are you? And then who is it that you want to become? So where do you want to take your business, and how do you need to show up now? Because you need to show up as that person today, right? You can't just be like, oh, well, when I have $1 million business, then I'll do this, or then I'll behave this way. You've actually got to behave this way now. So we do business topics, personal topics, referral topics. They're always different every month. And then in the meetings, we'll allocate, say, half an hour where there'll be specific activity for the group to brainstorm, either in small groups or together, ideas for each other's businesses, or, yeah, so you're really getting the group's support and ideas for your business. And what else do we do? And then every meeting, a member does a showcase. So like a deep dive presentation on their business, goes for 15 minutes to really highlight why they're so freaking amazing. And again, to build that trust and rapport with the others so that they feel more comfortable with referring, because they've got more information. So that's the general structure. Then we throw heaps of random things in, and yeah.
Love it. It brings like a whole new sense to collaborative business. Like we always say, like Loz and I, one of our mantras is like, we want to support women in business as much as we possibly can. And you might do that by cheering someone on online, or you might, you just might love on them, or you might just give them a message where you're like, I see you, like you're doing amazing, you're inspiring. But this brings a whole new element to it, because you're like, I'm actually going to help you with revenue. Like I'm actually going to help you build your business. And yeah, that's really, I love it. I want to be a part of it. You've sold me.
I know. I was like, so you've got, I know you're doing them virtually at the moment, but where are your groups scattered at the moment?
So we have mainly focused, so we're in Melbourne and Sydney now. So a couple of years ago, bought out my business partner, and then I looked at what was the model that would work for me, and what was the model that I could, really run with. And that's why I added the mastermind. So we've doubled down on Sydney and Melbourne just to hold our footprint here and really make sure, rather than trying to be everywhere, because as you know, the more you spread yourself, the thinner things are. So really just doing that. And then we've got the online groups. But yeah, I'm totally up to opening a group on the Gold Coast. That was always on the vision. My hometown.
Serious ways.
Right. And the thing I love is that, I'll just say, it's about everyone rising together, which is why I love it so much. So it's not cliquey, we're not bitchy, we're not complaining. We generally really give a shit about each other. And we're there for each other when, things aren't always great, and they're not.
And that's just the law of energy, isn't it? I think good people attract good people. Like if people like yourself run groups like that, the vibes don't lie. Like you automatically attract heart-driven, soul-driven women that want to be part of that. So I'm sure the energy in those groups will be beautiful because it's a reflection of you.
Aw, I'll pay you later.
So before, when we were chatting, you mentioned that one of your mantras is obviously, like in business, we always have everyone else's back. Like we have our clients' back. We have each other's back in something like this where we're networking in masterminds. But your big thing is like have your back first. So I'd love for you to speak a little bit into that.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, because I was trying to understand where it came from. There's always a source or from your values and where they come into it. So just a really quick story. So I have an older brother and sister, Sam and Mia. Hello, I'm sure they're watching. And so they were older than me, and we grew up in a really small country town. And I just have always kind of grown up with this thing, like I can do whatever I want, because no matter what, if I fail or run into the wrong person or whatever, I can just tell Sam and Mia and they'll sort it out for me, because they've always been there. So it's kind of like this little invisible backpack I've always kind of carried around, and it's been really great for me. And I think as a family, we always had that. And my sister really drilled into me, like family first, always family first. And so when we started the company, one of the biggest barriers, when I was going out networking and seeing all the other groups, I was like, well, they don't really have each other's backs. Everyone's just in it for themselves because the culture's not there. So we created that. And then looking at my journey of how I've got to where I am now, I think the most important thing is really that, you know, often I'll talk to women about, you know, where they want to go in their business, where are they currently, and then they go, oh, I just got to go talk to my husband. I'm like, okay, why is that? Oh, I've just got to check with him. I can't really spend that money without, you know, checking with him first. I'm like, okay, but what's actually happening here is that they're deferring the decision to someone else because they don't yet fully believe in themselves and they want someone else to say it's okay. And I think this comes from girls always wanting their dad's, you know, not necessarily permission, but, you know, and saying I've got an amazing relationship with my dad, but ultimately I want my dad to be proud of me. Yeah. You know, so we want someone else's okay first before we're actually willing to then go, oh, okay, yeah, he thinks it's a good idea. So yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. And the biggest lesson that I've learned is that I would never go to my husband, and we've invested big into my business, and I would never go to him saying, I want to do this, what do you think? Or would it be okay if I invested 50 grand or 5 grand or $500? I would never go to him and ask for permission. And the difference is that when you do that, you're actually giving away your power and an equal relationship. And so I'm all about, well, look, for me, if I just wanted to get his support, like on board, especially if I'm investing a lot of money, obviously I'm, you know, for me, I'm not going to, because it's our money, it's in a joint account, but I would be going to him going, look, this is what I want to do. This is why. How do we make this happen? Because I believe in myself. Like, I don't expect anyone to back me unless I'm all in first. So if I'm going to look for a mentor or a coach or talk to my husband or whoever, I'm going in that I'm serious about this, like I'm all in. So be all in on yourself, like back you first before anyone else. Like no one's going to be more excited about your business or what you do than you. Yeah. So, you know, when we look for outside validation.
Yeah. And we come across this a lot in our business too, like not only women not backing themselves and, you know, trying to find that person to say, hey, it's, yeah, go for it. But we also see a lot of people who they don't take their business seriously enough, and then they wonder why their partners don't support them. And this is a really big conversation that I have with a lot of people like in our team and who we mentor in business, because they're like, oh, you know, my partner doesn't support me. Like he does, he's great, but he doesn't really believe in this and doesn't believe in like this could work. And it's like, well, wait a minute, how seriously are you taking yourself? Do you back yourself? Do you show up every day and you're like, I'm going to have a game-changing day today. I'm going to make a difference in the world. Like, watch me shine. And a lot of women are like, no, that's not how, like, I'm not showing up like that. So it's such a huge part for business, I feel like.
You hit the nail on the head. You're talking my language. Yeah. And then for mums as well, like add another level of complexity where, you know, there's, you know, you've always got to put your kids first. Like there's all of these things that have come in through our grandparents, like, you know, kids first, mum stays at home. Like there's all of these other things to get over. But yeah, it's like, why? Like, yeah, you've got to be serious about what you're doing. You've got to be committed. There was this lady who replied to an email I sent out the other week. And, you know, right now, many businesses are having to pivot online, right? I've had to pivot and I'm helping my clients to pivot. And I sent out an email explaining that right now, you know, people are scared, they're uncertain, and they're looking for solutions online because we're all at home, so they're online. So right now, if you're not visible online, they're not going to be able to find you. So you need to get online, right? And it was a lovely email and all of that. And she sent back a massive email, right? And you know that what someone says and how they respond to things says a lot about them, and it's not about you, and they're going through something. So I had that lens. But she really questioned me around how I was able to give my kids the level of support and focus and love that they needed right now whilst growing my business. And I was like, the first response was like, well, I am. But then I said very calmly that, well, I have put the routines and rituals in place so that I can have everything that I want. I can have kids and I can look after them and they can have their schooling. I can be there for my clients. I can pivot my business if I need to. But one of the things that she put into it, she goes, the most important thing right now is her children and they need her, and the housework. And, you know, so all of those things were more important than her business. So to me, that is not someone who is committed to their business. That's someone who is desperately drowning, I think.
I love that you spoke into that. I think Shannon and I tread really lightly on this subject because we mentor literally thousands of women around the world, and a lot of them being mums, and we don't have kids yet. And so we always keep saying, we can't wait till we're mums. So can't prove them that you can do both. But at the moment, we can't talk into it because we're like, I don't know what it's like to be a mum, but I know that for us, business is one of our number one priorities. So we want to show women when we come into that chapter that you really can have your cake and eat it too. But like you said, it comes down to rituals, it comes down to routines, comes down to habits, comes down to outsourcing, comes down to asking for help. So what?
Sorry, I just add to that. It comes down to you putting you first. Just because you have children doesn't mean that you now become last on the list of it. Doesn't. They get put first sometimes, and so do you. And also, you don't have to be in the situation to help someone through that. You can say, well, actually, one of my dear friends, Sophie,
like, just listen to
she's been able to do this and this. And she also works with a lot of other mums, and they're doing that as well. So it's possible. The choice is ours. We always have the choice.
So true. And so obviously women love support. We need it, especially in the times that we're in. But let's talk about masterminds, because I feel like the word mastermind gets thrown around a lot. What's your perception of a mastermind, and how are you running your masterminds that you offer in your business?
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing that I teach women how to do is how to create the most irresistible, juicy offer that provides the most incredible transformation. So when I look at what that is for my clients need a step-by-step strategy. They need literally do this, do this, do this, do this. Yeah. But they don't need an online course to go and figure it out by themselves at like 2 a.m. So they need that. Then they also need someone that's going to be side by side with them in the trenches. So literally reviewing their work on their calls, giving them feedback, editing, bringing in copywriter, bringing in Facebook ads, working on mindset, like really rallying it all around them. And then the other thing they need is we need to clear out any of the BS stories and stuff that's been holding them back in the past. Now, if we can do all three, they will have radical transformation. And I've seen it over and over and over and over again. So for my mastermind, it's called the Wealthy Woman Mastermind. And when I talk about wealth, wealth is more than money. Wealth is a woman who has everything that she wants. She has time. She has time for those that she loves. She has money so that she can do whatever she wants. She feels complete. She is focused doing on what she's supposed to do. So the word mastermind, I'm not really fixated on if it's a good word or not. For me, it means immersion, like a deep immersion.
So it's a group of entrepreneurs, like do you have a cap at a certain number, or do they have to apply? It could be any woman who's got any business can apply to work with you in your mastermind, or how do people like assess if they're the right person to work with you, if they're your client?
Yeah, so they'll generally reach out to me one way or another, and I'll book in a call with them. And it's a very, loving, heart-centered call. But ultimately, I want to know, where are they now? Where do they want to be? What's been getting in their way? And how committed are they to changing? Yeah. So I can only help someone who's committed to getting out of their current reality and making a new reality. If they're ready and they're ready to invest in themselves, then I can help them deeply. So at that point, then they would join up. So my program runs like ongoing, and it's a 90-day immersion program. So they would be in the program for 90 days. They have lifetime access to the content, and there's options for them if they want to stay in on a month by month, which a few people do, because some people come to me and they're working full-time in corporate and they want to start a coaching business. So they're starting from scratch. Others have been running their business for years, but now they want to get online. So we've got to get all this, create all their modules and set up their funnels. And others just want to keep doing what they're doing but make more money. So everyone's a little bit different for them. So they stay in this a period of time.
And what advice would you give to maybe women working in business at the moment, whether they are in startup, maybe they've been in it for a little bit, but they're just feeling challenged in the current circumstances, whether it's been because they have to pivot, maybe they're not backing themselves. Do you have any words of love or light that you'd like to share to them or share for them?
Yeah, I'm sure lots. It's like, which one? It's okay that it's really painful right now, that you're hurting, because we put a lot of effort to get our business to where it is, and then to have that literally taken away from us overnight because we can't meet face to face, or we've been forced to close our business down because it's a certain type of business. It's okay that it's really tough. The thing is that don't stay there. Like, have a cry, have some wine, talk to a friend, but then make a decision to go, okay, so what am I going to do? And look at a smarter business model where you have control. So for a lot of businesses, going online has always been a maybe. Maybe a one day we could do more online, but and they're normally just being too comfortable. They've been getting enough clients how they've been. But now being online is a must. Like if you're not online, they're not going to find you. So now is that time. So maybe if we can just switch your mind around that, look, this is something that you've always considered. Now you're just really being shoved. And you take all of this experience and skills that you've built into this new focus, and get the support to do it quickly, because the more you wait, the longer it's going to hurt. And it's going online. It's not that scary. It's not that hard. There's actually never been a better time. Like, think about, okay, you two are probably too young. Think about 10 years ago having to go online like that. You couldn't stand up over line. I mean, I think I've only been on Facebook for the last 15, 14 years or something, right? So there was no social media before that. So there's actually never been a better time to be online. The other great thing, so one of my clients in the Mastermind, Jean, so she came to me, she was running in Queensland, she runs these workshops for year 11 and 12 students because there's a whole new score that's come out this year with the exams and stuff. So she's teaching the teachers and the schools and the students how to study better for it. And so I was like, Jean, we've got to get you running an online course, because she can only get to those number of schools in a day, like one a day, maybe two. And she could never get to the regional ones unless she travels, and then there's the time and everything. So when this happened, she's like, okay, we have to do it now. I'm like, yeah, we have to do it now. In 2 weeks, she went from face-to-face, fully booked out, to all cancelled, and fully stood up online with ads running, and sold 9 spots in the next week into a new online course. She can now scale that, which means she can earn an endless amount of money. She's not capped by how many workshops she can run a day. She can now impact so many more people's lives. So now she's got a version for teachers, for students, and the parents. And she only has to build it once. And now she can impact. So she's just created the best business model. So it's been a good shove. And it's been hard for her because she dropped her income. She's a single mum. So she really had to dig deep on this and invest more, because it took more money to set that up. But now she's got it set up.
But comes that decision, doesn't it? Like, that could happen to anyone. And what most people have found themselves in a similar situation in business over the last month, but it's actually what you decide to do from there. It's like, do you back yourself, or do you sit there in your pity party? And it's not saying you can't, like, it's scary and yes, it's uncertain, but if you don't back yourself, no one's going to pivot. Like, you've got to do it.
Do you know, this is a perfect example, right? There are two types of people out there. There are people who are going to thrive in this time, and there are people who are really not going to thrive. So I got a new puppy 3 weeks ago, and this puppy is driving me nuts because she's so bloody cute, but she's so naughty. So last week, my hubby and I were like, right, we need to get a puppy train. Like, we need to go to puppy school. Like, we need to get this done. And we contacted so many Gold Coast-based schools, and of course, with what's happening around the world, all the puppy schools are like, they're done. Like, they're not doing in-person things anymore. And so I got on the phone with this one guy, and I was like, look, we are desperate. Like, we need to toilet train her. She's not answering to her name. She's not obedient. I need puppy school. Like, I need it really bad. And he literally said to me on the phone, look, let me get back to you, because it looks like the government is just going to pay us, and I'd rather like not run the business if the government's going to give us a hand. And I'm like, okay, this blows my freaking mind. Like you're a business owner, you have the opportunity to upscale like big time here. Why wouldn't you go online? Anyway, that was my thought process. But I even said to him, I was like, dude, like I'll pay cash. Like, please, like get back to me. He was a referral from someone who had used him a few months ago. Then I contacted a different puppy trainer, and he has taken his whole school online. It's amazing. He's built this online school on Kajabi. You do an hour a week. He teaches you everything through video. It's cost effective. You don't have to leave your home. You can literally do this puppy training at home. And I'm like, see, that guy is such
seeing the opportunity. There's opportunity.
Yeah. It really like shocked me that this guy was like, yeah, we're out, we're gone.
Yeah. And I'll give you the same example of a friend of mine. His client runs a gym, and massive gym, lots of staff. And so when this happened, obviously the gyms had to close. So he's rented out all of his gym equipment. He is teaching all of his the people who run the classes, instructors, how to do virtual classes. He's got a second job just so that he can get enough income so he can pay all of his staff, right? Like he's like all in. And then he gets a text message from one of the girls who hires out part of his gym for yoga classes, a text message saying, well, we're not allowed to run the classes anymore, so I won't be able to pay rent. And that was it. Like, so you're 100% right. There are two types of business owners. There are those that are hobbying, and there are those that are running a serious business. Mm. So I think one of my ads actually says, to my new webinar, I've got a new webinar called Thrive Online Masterclass. You can go to uncensored.com, by the way. And and one of the ads actually says, like, if you are, this training is for those people who want to thrive and take action right now. So if you're thinking you're just going to chill out and watch, binge Tiger King on Netflix, this isn't for you. So yeah, you're right. And it's okay if that's you and that's what you want to do. That's okay. It's your choice. But you're missing a massive opportunity here.
Yeah, and it's just owning that too. I think what grinds my gears a lot in business is those who look at other people and they get frustrated for what they haven't achieved, but they're getting frustrated because they didn't do the work either. So it's like, what's that saying? Don't get frustrated for the results you didn't get for the work you didn't do. So they complain and they compare themselves to, oh, this girl's doing this and is doing that. But I'm like, yeah, but for the last 3 months when we were gifted with this time, did you grind? Did you hustle? Did you see the opportunities, or did you sit on your ass and look at the Netflix? And it's not to make you feel bad. It's just, don't then compare yourself and be like, it's not fair. It's just you made a decision, and there's consequences that roll from that as well.
Yeah. There's a friend that I grew up with, and she's friends with my sister as well. And after I moved to Sydney and got a really great job, stuff was happening. It was all really good. And my sister said to me that she actually turned to her and said, oh, Sophie she's always just so lucky. Everything just happens for her. And my sister was like, are you kidding me? She works her ass off. And the thing is, the difference for me than, people that I know, I just say yes to everything. Met you, I'm like, yeah, let's connect. Like, I could help you, let's just talk. Okay, I don't say yes to everything. I get messaged a lot by random people and I just ignore them. I lie. But
we treat you out of saying
no. Yeah, like say yes and then figure out the how later. I might, just say yes and just go with it. And so many people just say no. They come up with excuses because they're comfortable in their life.
Such a good chat. So thank you for joining us for our Friday happy hour. It's been beautiful having you here.
Good chat.
For our tribe that would love to go watch your masterclass, we'd love to find you. What's the best platform for them to reach you on?
So if you want to watch my masterclass, you can go and have a look. So you can go to rewomenmasterclass.com. So it's some free training. I've got I pivoted, launched it last week. It's amazing. So it'll teach you all about how to get online, how to be visible, and how to heal your relationship with sales so you don't feel like a sleazy car salesman. And if you just want to have a real heart-to-heart about your business and where you want to go and potentially how I can help, you can go to wealthywomanconsult.com and we can book in a chat, or find me on Facebook or whatever. The girls that connect.
Yeah, we'll make sure we link all that in our show notes as well. If you're listening on the podcast or on our YouTube or on our Facebook, wherever you found this, we'll make sure you can find beautiful Sophie.
Thank you so much for your time today, beautiful. It was such a good chat. Loved chatting with you today.
It was amazing. Thank you. I'm so glad I got to do this on Friday as well. What a way to round out the weekend. And I look forward to starting a new group in the Gold Coast soon with two amazing, very tan leaders. So, by the way, limited spots, one profession, specialty per group. So get in quick.
Yeah.
We'll definitely release details about that when they're ready.
Good. How exciting. Thanks, Lace. Have a fabulous weekend.
You too. Bye. Wow, what an amazing episode. I hope you're feeling inspired after that conversation and empowered to make some changes and choices in your life. Now, don't forget to let us know if you loved this episode. Please give us a 5-star review. It really helps us know that we're on track with serving you guys, and also majorly supports our channel. And you may even be in the running to be the shout out of the week. Every week on Instagram, we share one of our reviews with our network. So please be sure to leave your Instagram handle or your website in your review so we can share you with our amazing community. If you head over to the link in our bio on Instagram at Babes Talking Business, you can get access to so many of our goodies, including the link to our bib shop. It's a crazy cute online merchandise shop that donates 100% of profits to a non-for-profit charity every month. So head over and check out who we're donating to this month and get yourself something super cute to wear. You can also find in our Instagram bio our books. You can get your hands on Life Above Zero by Lauren Kerr or The 4-Year Career with Shani Thompson. Both super easy reads and incredible books to help you expand and evolve in even deeper ways. Now, don't forget to head over to the show notes. You can check out any of the links or the books or the references we mentioned in this episode. And before we go, we just want to say thanks so much for being here, for committing to being the best version of you, and for showing up for you today. You are freaking amazing. Now, if you think that there is someone in your life that could really benefit from this episode, while you're feeling super inspired, please hit the share button and send them this episode right now. And the reason we're asking you to share the love is because you get what you give. And the more that you give and inspire, the more you get in return. Head over to www.babestalkingbusiness.com to check out all of our other podcasts. And we just want to say we are sending you so much love, and we hope to see you soon.
That's what I feel in my heart.